Yes, welcome back to Funtastic Friday here on News Talk 93 FM. It's yours truly, Mr. Fresh Concepts. All right, big up to everybody on the Instagram Live, on the WhatsApp line, 876-792-3530. So, for today's discussion, people, it's all about the crash out culture. Is reckless the new cool? That's what we want to find out, people. Is reckless the new cool? Now, in recent years, the term has surfaced, whether in music videos, street talk, and online spaces. Crash out. To crash out means to act recklessly, impulsively, or without regard for the consequences. The term is especially popular in drill and rap culture, where it often refers to someone who throws away opportunities or even their life because of one rash decision. Now, over time, crash out has moved beyond music to become a part of social media slang, embraced by young people as a badge of boldness or a warning of self-destruction. But is recklessness becoming the new cool? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this trend of recklessness becoming the new cool? Everybody wants to be reckless. Everybody wants to crash out. You go to a event, or you have a test at school. You get 30% out of the 100. You didn't study or whatever it is. They're like, oh, I'm gonna crash out right now. Apparently, as I said, crash out is to act recklessly. So you dash away your book, you turn over the desk, them. You pretty much mash up the place. It's a destructive behavior. And that seems to be the trend nowadays. Somebody says something you don't like or you're upset about, you ask a girl, hi, how you doing? And she don't talk to me. You're upset. Their new trend nowadays is to crash out. Yes, tear up them book, turn over the desk, just to act out in a tantrum. That's the new trend. Now, the question is, where did this all begin? All right, want to say big up to Unbeatable Champion, checking in. Good night to you as well. Now, the idea of the whole crash out syndrome first gained tradition, as we said, in American music, where artists used to describe moments of rage and, violent retaliation or some life-altering decision made in split seconds. You go in for an interview, you say, oh, I'm not about to go. Waste my time. You joke out the thing. You crash out. You get an opportunity to excel at something, you just dash it away because you crash out. That's the new trend. Yeah. They're psychologically challenged. I think so. A lot of things has affected the psyche of our young people. And the crazy part about it is that not only is it affecting our young people, but there is the older generation who are following the youngsters in an attempt to be cool as well. They want to be with the in crowd. So guess what? They might crash out too. That is it, people. So my question is, people, are we happy or are we okay with this? I'm not okay. Since all of these trends have stirred up, it has rapidly spread across TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram Reels. From viral clips often glorifying impulsive acts, whether fighting, quitting your job drastically, or exposing your private issues publicly. Everybody quickly know to run to social media and go cuss off them auntie, them cousin, them sister, them niece, cause them a crash out. And trust me, I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's safe, I tell you. Somebody says it can never be safe. It can never be okay. I tell you, because it doesn't seem safe at all. And then it is, I would definitely say, a destructive kind of behavior. It cannot be helpful to the person experiencing it, and it cannot be helpful to the person who is doing it as well. No, the crazy thing with these trends is that it's going to be picked up by persons in Jamaica. So the Jamaican culture has also absorbed aspects of this mentality. And dancehall music is one of those areas, as they call it, dancehall trap or trap dancehall. Lyrics have often celebrated this type of mad move or this fully done behavior or this badness, as they so call it, that similar mirrors the crash out vibe. Online spaces also add fuel to the fire, with young people recording stunts, confrontations, or risky behavior just to trend on social media. So my question is crash out culture the new norm? Is crash out culture the new cool? Are we going to continue this type of behavior? Is it going to continue? Is it going to get worse? What are your views? Do you think social media amplifies this type of recklessness, or are these just the same behaviors now being caught on camera? Were these levels of crashing out happening before, or is this a trend on social media so more persons are joining the routine? I think that it's something that more persons are taking onto, because I've seen persons who haven't mentioned these type of behavior before are now picking it up and running with it. And I think it's not safe. I don't think it's something safe for our young people. Even youngsters as young as 4 years old, 5, 6, 7, once they can talk, they're going to be, I would say, mimicking what they are seeing at home, at school, wherever it is. And that is part of the current culture out there. And I'm saying I'm not a fan of the trend. And I definitely would not want to see more persons joining this trend. All right, checking on the comment section here. Fiona says, people use social media as an out venting platform. I think they don't realize that therapists are available privately. This live out loud behavior is becoming contagious. And that is true. Many persons have taken to social media to, probably find somebody to relate to, or there is a trend where persons are gravitating to the whole views. You got to get the views. I am hurt right now and I'm crying, so let me go live because I'm going to get more views when I'm crying. That is the new trend nowadays. That is where most of these youngsters are moving towards on social media. And I'm not a fan. No. We're going to look at the psychology behind crash out mentality. Now, first, impulsivity. Research shows that the adolescent and young adult brain is wired for risk-taking and thrill-seeking. The immediate rush of acting out can feel more rewarding than considering the long-term consequences. And as I'm saying, this is one of the big things that these youngsters don't take into consideration, the consequences. So whether it is lashing out at your parents or creating a havoc in the classroom or walking out of school, or disrespecting your teachers or authority just to be the one, me just crash out. There are consequences. However, to these youngsters, the excitement and thrill and the rush of all of this being recorded, they are more excited about all of that instead of worrying about the consequences. So firstly, they are caught up in the whole excitement of being impulsive. Brother, me never don't know, me just crash out here. That is it. And as it said in one of our Jamaican songs, I'm mad me, I'm mad out. Yeah, so it has been trending for quite some time, but nowadays it has gone from the music and it is now trending on social media. And as you say, Fantastic Friday here, Talk the Ting segment. We keep you up to date with what's happening across the media as well as across our island. Let me see here. Fiona says, once them start, they have to continue. And I tell you, that is it. Once they get a little taste of the little excitement from their videos going viral and they're getting a couple thousand views, sometimes 100 views or 10,000 views, once they realize that, I went viral for this issue, trust me, they're going to try and do something similar. They're going to try and go all out. So more of these youngsters are jumping to social media even when it's a private situation. You know, for example, their parent had hurt them or they've been hurt by somebody. They quickly run to social media to share that so persons can view and they can trend. And the issue with some of this is that, you know, once it is that some persons are doing this to trend, persons are going to even make up stories. So it's basically just a call for attention. And we're not able to identify what is real from what is fake. But it's a drive towards being socially visible on platforms, whether it's telling somebody that, okay, I just walk out of the place, I'm in a paying a bill, I'm just do that. These kind of actions are called crashing out, and they're doing it more and more each day. Yeah, they're looking for people to see them. They're looking for people to take, you know, note of them. They're trying their best to be seen, but this is definitely not the way to do it, my young friends. All right. So at Funtastic Friday, we're going to give you some tips later down in the show, but let's continue to look at other ways in which this trend of crashing out appeal to these youngsters. The norm is just about getting views, and that is it. So even if they were guilty of something, they will turn the story to make it seem that they were the one, you know, being attacked, or they are the victim, in an attempt to continue with their crashing out behavior, or just to get the views. So another way in which this crash out mentality attracts these young people, and as I mentioned, some of the older persons who want to be seen as well, who want to be in the in crowd. Crash out mentality is promoted by peer pressure and online validation. They are looking for that like, they're looking for that share. These things have become a digital form of ratings or respect, often pushing individuals to one up each other in shocking behavior. Okay, so you, if you realize some of these trends, you know, involve probably even playing with fire. One of the trends involve lighting their hands with, I think, rubbing alcohol and all these things. It's just about, you know, showing up the other one. Oh, you did that? I'm going to do this. Oh, you jump off the ground floor? I'm going to jump out of my window. All of these activities are trending now. Persons have seen kids doing videos in the streets. Kiara come, them going to run across the road. Is the mad out mentality happening to take a hold of our kids? And it's just for a like or a share. In our Jamaican communities, this can translate to young men proving their toughness or loyalty to friends, starting a fight, lashing out at authority, and also for the young women making bold viral relationships decision for attention. Yeah. So if they're involved in any little mix-up right now, it becomes a social media discussion. And it's all for attention. And they're seeking it from the wrong persons. No. The final way in which this type of crash out mentality attracts our children or young people, it's nowadays something that gives them an identity and a reputation. For some, crashing out is not seen as foolish but brave, a way of showing that they are fearless, loyal, and unwilling to be disrespected. So listen me. No teacher can't say nothing to me, can me crash out and turn over my desk and walk out of the classroom. That is the trend nowadays. And I'm saying, respect is out the door. Discipline is out the door. And in my mind, common sense is out the door. So now I would like to ask these young people, when you think back on your own life, have you ever made a crash out decision? Persons listening, those of you online, those of you via radio, have you ever made a crash out decision to impress others? And final question, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Yeah. Apparently, I mean, persons have, let's say you get a gift and you know you're not happy with the gift, so your crash out mentality is to mash it up same time. Let us mash up that. That is the culture nowadays. That is what's taking our young people by storm. That is the trend, people. So I want you guys to think about your own life right now and consider if you have ever made a crash out decision to impress others or possibly to get attention of someone, and was it worth it? All right, so we're coming up to the break. After the break, we're going to be looking at real life crash out examples, and we're going to be looking at our final thoughts as to where this step is going. Right? Somebody says yes, our young people are getting out of control. As I tell you, everybody seems to be following trends. Influencers online are not leading them the right way, so it's just about being seen. But we continue our discussion after the break. Don't go anywhere. Fantastic Friday continues.